episode of Beauty for Ashes. My name is Brooke Grandison, and I am the CEO of Essentials for Healing, Inc., which is an agency that provides mental health services. And I am so honored today to have my very special guest, which is Ashley Dyce. Ashley Dyce is here, and she's an author. She's a Paralympian. She's a daughter. She's a minister, and she's many other things. But today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Ashley and for her to talk about her experience of going through and being diagnosed with spinal bifida, and to talk about really how she's overcome challenges in relation to having that diagnosis, that physical disability. So I am honored to have Ashley Dyce here. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, first of all. Thank you for inviting me to be on your podcast.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Let's do
All
it.
right. So I've known you my whole life, and throughout my whole life, I've known you as far as being among just joyous, exciting, a creative DJ, whole bunch of other stuff. A part of that with witnessing you growing up is also you being in a wheelchair, and I know that you have been diagnosed with spinal bifida. So can you tell us a little bit about your story regarding being born with spinal bifida, what it is?
All the above. So basically, I'm Ashley Dyce. I was born with spina bifida, so that's all I know my whole life. Spina bifida is basically during the process of me being developed in the womb, my spine did not fully develop. So there was like an empty space in my back. So once I was born, they had to do surgery to close my back.
Wow.
Which ultimately means I have paralysis for the rest of my life. So I do use a wheelchair every day. But yeah, that's how it started, and that's how I just been living my life this whole time. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. What was it like for you growing up, like in your childhood, being in a wheelchair, growing up with it? Did you recognize that you had a disability, or for you, like, or at what age, I should say?
So growing up, it was pretty normal. My family treated me just like my siblings. When they were taking swimming classes, I was taking swimming classes. We'd all go out together, go to amusement parks and have fun. And I wouldn't say I knew I was disabled because it just felt normal. It's not until I got into maybe elementary, middle school, when you start seeing that divide or that change. And then when I was in elementary school, that's when I first started using a wheelchair. So before I was using crutches, I was able to walk and move around with crutches. But once I got to elementary school, using a wheelchair was different. So now I'm sitting down, I'm rolling around. So kids are responding to me differently, and society started molding my thoughts towards who I am. So that's when things started to change around that age. Yeah.
What thoughts would you say that society molded as far as what society said your identity was?
That I should be in the house, that I shouldn't be out playing, not playing regular sports or being rough or interacting with the other kids. When I was in middle school, they put me in like special ed class, like during PE, not for like all my education, but like during PE, they would put me in special ed class, and I would like wonder, like, why can't I play with the other kids? Why can't I do basketball and do all these sports? So they kind of just framed how I should move and what I should be doing. I even remember at one point they suggested that I should take the bus to school. They were talking to my mom like, oh, you can have her take the bus. And she's like, why would I bring my other kids and then leave her and she takes the bus? So just treating me different, I guess, and saying that, no, you need to be in this class at this time and do this. So yeah, that kind of shifted.
Wow. Out of all those memories that you do have, is there a pivotal memory that you have during childhood where you felt like you were different?
Mostly everything, because I look back in my childhood and I was always different in every arena of my life. In church, I was different. In school, I was different. In my family, I was different. I was the only one in my family with a disability, only one in church with a disability, only one at school with a disability. So I can't really think of like a pivotal moment, but just realizing that, okay, I'm different from everybody else.
Yeah. Ooh. And did those experiences impact your self-esteem at all? And if so, how did it?
Absolutely. I always tell people when I was younger, I was more of a bully. Like, I was not a good person. And I always felt like I'm going to attack somebody before I give them the opportunity to bully me, make fun of me. Because kids would make fun of me here and there, and then I would, like, hit them right back. I mean, I remember I stabbed a kid with a pencil. You know, just weird stuff. I would roll over people's feet. So, like, I would always defend myself because I was like, I'm not going to be a victim. But, yeah, it definitely was not good. It wasn't healthy. It wasn't the right way to process that part of my life, but that's how I was processed.
Yeah, putting up that defense mechanism so nobody could hurt you.
Right.
Was it pretty common that you would be bullied?
Like when I was younger, elementary, and I think it's just kids not understanding or knowing how to accept me, or, you know, and then once I started making friends or going into high school and people realize, oh, she's normal or she's taking the same classes as us.
Yeah.
So it kind of fizzled out after like elementary school. Yeah.
It's interesting that you were placed in a special ed class when you did not have any intellectual disabilities,
right?
But because of your physical disability, they're like, put her in the special ed class. Is there any moments that you remember during those childhood stages as far as like how your teachers interacted with you?
That's a good question. I think a lot of times they would give me, I would feel like I get like a little more of a pass sometimes on things, or they would give me a little extra time to do assignments. I remember one teacher, once I got to high school, they were like, oh, you can leave class early and you can come to class late. So like, so I would give allowed a little 5-minute window where if I came to class a little bit late, I wouldn't get in trouble. And I mean, I understand the campus was big and, you know, it's hard to, but I was like, I didn't want to be treated different. So I still came to class on time when everybody else was coming to class. I still turned in my assignments on time like everybody else. So maybe there was a couple, but I never allowed them to really
give you the pass. Interesting. Going back to what you mentioned as far as how you were emotionally, how did all of that impact your view of yourself, like your identity, how you viewed you?
I think I didn't view myself in the best way, and that's still something I'm learning. Definitely had a lot of self-hatred, self-infliction, or just internal hate, and didn't take care of myself, didn't take care of my body, didn't take care of what I was eating, what I was doing, those kind of things, and what I was consuming, and that could be music, movies, relationships, friends. I just didn't care because I'm like, I'm nothing, I'm nobody, I'm not going to amount to anything, so what's the point, you know, those kind of things, yeah.
Interesting. Did you have, because of course society's contributing to what you should be and everything like that, at any point did you wish that you did not have that diagnosis?
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, why can't I just be normal like everybody else and, you know, do all the fun stuff and have all the friends and do all the normal things, which I thought were normal or I think is normal. Yeah, of course I thought about that, especially those times where I would be sick a lot. I'm like, Lord, like, you know, why me? Why now? Or, you know, you just want to have a normal teenage experience, and I didn't really have that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is it because as far as like people cast it away because of the diagnosis? Or not necessarily cast away, but how would you describe it as far as like how it impacted you in your social relationships?
I think it was more from my standpoint. Like I felt like I wouldn't be accepted, or I was worried about being rejected. So I didn't even attempt to try to be friends with people or, you know, make new friends. I kind of just stuck to the friends I've known from elementary, middle that already knew me. Yeah. So I think it was more on my side of that fear of, you know, I don't know how people are going to respond.
Yeah. Ooh. And how did those times play out into high school?
It played out in a weird way. I don't even know how I got through high school. A lot of isolation. High school was just a weird time. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I did have friends here and there, and I did hang out with people, but I didn't do much. And then I would isolate myself a lot. Like lunch, I wouldn't eat lunch. I would just hide out. until lunch was over. I didn't even attempt to be around other people. I didn't even go to my prom. I didn't go to any kind of like, grad night, fun stuff. I was just like I was just by myself. I don't know. I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah. And when you say didn't want to be there, tell me more about that.
Like I was just like, I already felt like an outcast, and I'm like, okay, nobody. And like I said, it's from my perspective. I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna accept me. Nobody cares. So I'm just like, why am I here? Other than getting an education. But.
Woo. Did you have any moments in those periods where you did cope with it? Or if you did cope with it, was it healthy or unhealthy?
Coping. So let's talk about definitely not healthy coping. I did not treat myself well. I did a lot of self-harm, abuse to myself. And then once I got to the age where I could drink, did a lot of drinking and like I said, eating a lot. I think I got to like 300 pounds at one time, and this is like post high school.
Oh my goodness.
And just not caring.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So no good coping at all. No healthy coping. None of that good stuff. Yeah.
Would you say there was a level of sabotage?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Once I started like going to therapy later in life, like they were like, the lady was like, oh, you definitely were like a self-sabotager. You self-sabotage yourself. And I think it's just, that's the enemy, just knowing that I could be great and do all these great things, but if I stop it early, which, that's what he does. If he stops it early, then, I would never reach to the point where I am now. So.
Ooh, which I know, as far as you mentioned, as far as like the sadness, the depression, the isolation, what was your view of life in general? Life for you?
Like, my view was that there was nothing past high school. Or, like, even though I went to college, like, I didn't think that I was gonna do anything. Like, because I didn't even want to go to college. Honestly, I kind of went to college because that was, like, the standard, from family that we go to college. And I didn't really, so I was just like, okay, I'll go to art school because I'm an artist and I love art. So let me just do something. And then I thought, okay, I'll get a job or be an artist or have a gallery. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't really think, I don't think at that time I think a lot about my future. I was just kind of just going day by day.
Oh my goodness. And then as far as like was there a pivotal moment for you where that shifted?
So that pivotal moment for me is once I found the Paralympics.
Talk about it.
Definitely. So 2011, I graduated college in December, and then that like 6-month period, I was looking for work, doing job interviews, doing all this stuff. Nothing happened. So 2012 is when the Paralympics comes, and so usually I watch the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I love sports. That's like my thing. So I was watching, and they started advertising for the Paralympics like after, and I was like, I've never heard of this. What is this? So I sat there and watched it. I literally sat on my couch for 2 weeks, like just did not do nothing. And my parents went to Jamaica that year. I was like, I don't want to go to Jamaica. Like, I'm staying home to watch the Olympics and Paralympics. So I watched, and I was just like, wow, like I didn't know this whole sports avenue was there. And especially, I liked playing sports as a kid, but I never had the opportunity to play competitively. Everything was, like I said, it was just either a special ed class or like if my mom took me to a camp or something. So 2012 is when that kind of changed for me, and then I kind of seeked out what is it. Got involved, met this incredible lady that kind of pulled me in and got me into track and field. And that was when I kind of like found my people or found my belonging, because I'm like, there's so many different levels of disability, but we're all disabled. But like we kind of find this love, the same love for sport, and we find this niche. So then that would kind of shifted my perspective that there's so much more.
How important was that community to you, or in general, how important is having a community like that important?
So important, because now it feels like I have other people that share shared experiences, and there's so many different experiences that people have. That people who were born with disability, people who became disabled later in life, and it's just interesting to see the diversity, and then it's, I don't know, I think it helped me now and to like make better connections with people and better friends, more confidence, and even speaking about my disability is more easier. Because before I would never speak about my disability, I didn't care, like I never wanted to advocate for it.
Oh my
and
goodness.
like all those stuff, and like once I decided to accept it, everything changed. Everything flipped.
Wow. Which I gotta ask, when did you decide to accept it? Do you remember a pivotal moment where you decided to own it?
I don't remember like an exact moment. I think it just happened over that time. Once I started training, started to take better care of myself, started to just see a better path or a better future. So I don't think it was like one moment where that switch happened. I think it was just a progressive change.
Okay. And even with you being a Paralympian and a track and field also athlete, can you tell the people about some of your accomplishments?
So many.
She's so humble.
So I always tell people track and field, my first ever competition, I threw American record in discs because that was like my first big accomplishment. Track and field, I never placed anything lower than second, I think, for the 4 years that I was in any competition. And then I transitioned to powerlifting, which turned out a lot better, which I didn't think would be a lot better. But yeah, powerlifting, I've been to, I want to say 4 world championships.
Wow.
A lot of different World Cups. Went to the Paralympic Games, so that's the biggest accomplishment. And yeah, number 1 in the country.
Come on.
I think I'm number 3 in the Americas, and then right now I'm like around 14 in the world, but that's just for right now.
Stay tuned. Okay.
That's just for right now. Yeah.
How much do you lift?
How much do I lift? So right now I'm around 265 comfortably. I'm kind of chasing 275 right now, but you know I'll get it soon. So
Yeah.
That's where I'm comfortably. Yeah.
265. Woo! Oh my goodness. And how has your outlook of your future now shifted as opposed to how you used to look at your future in the past, or looked at the feeling or having the feeling of not having a future, I should say. In the past.
It's so much brighter now. Like I actually look forward to my future or what I'm capable of or what's gonna happen. Like I feel like I still haven't arrived yet, or I still haven't reached like my full potential. So like I look forward to reaching like that next level of where I want to be. So my future looks very bright right now. So much more better. Yeah.
Are you shocked to be where you are now?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like I didn't think, especially like my relationship with God, like I didn't think I would be a believer still. I don't think I would have like a good connection with him since I was angry for so many years. And yeah, I don't think I'd be this like confident in myself or happy to be disabled. In a way, that's weird to say that, but like happy that I'm in this situation, because like I believe God is perfect and that he does things perfectly. So I'm not a mistake, and I know that he put me in this position for some reason, some way that I'm going to impact this world, and I wouldn't have been able to do that in any other scenario.
Yeah.
So,
Woo! What odds have God helped you thus far to defy?
Ooh, definitely strength. Like, I don't think I should be lifting that much weight, especially over the last few years with a lot of health issues and things that should have had me sit down. But definitely strength. And then definitely the odds from the doctors. Somebody with spina bifida should not be living as, I guess, healthy as I am.
Yeah.
Or definitely would have like tons of surgeries, tons of different hospital stays. I mean, I've been blessed that I've only had one like the surgery at my birth that I had to do. Every other surgery I've had is elective, like by choice. So those are definitely odds. And then there's like another thing called hydrocephalus, where basically you occur fluid in the brain, and about 90% of people who have spina bifida have that, and I don't have that. So I'm in that 10% that is not affected by that. So there's like a lot of different elements or things that the Lord has saved me from. Yeah.
Ooh, when did that shift happen? When did that shift happen from you being angry at God to you owning up to Him being perfect?
A lot of prayer, a lot of seeking, a lot of going back and forth. I mean, I think even now, like honestly, there's times where I'm still angry with God, and that's just for different reasons. But it's a journey, it's a process. I mean, and I think it's just like working out. It's just like doing anything else. Like, it's not gonna all make sense the first day. You know, whatever. When I started this journey, 10 years, 15.
Wow.
Wait, 2014 was my first competition. So we're 12 years, right? So like that first year, it's not like I understood everything or understood the path, but I think I'm more confident in where He has me, or like not as angry now, and understanding where we're going. So
because that was gonna be my question. You pretty much answered it, but were there moments that you wrestled with God and had to really say like, "Not my will, Lord, but Your will be done"?
Yes. Especially like when we talk about ministry. Like I thought for sure I would not be involved in ministry, especially just experiencing my parents being in ministry and you know, being a PK and all that, and just understanding how things happen and people, and just that what do you call it? Not disagreement, but like just how sometimes you and people, or just how people treat you and change. And like I noticed how people changed once my parents became pastors. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in ministry. I don't want to be confined to a certain title or box. But I think the Lord had to work on me on that one too, and pull me into it. So.
Do you see how any of your childhood experiences and what you went through with going through spina bifida played out in sports?
I think it gave me a lot of resilience, a lot of toughness, a lot of not give up attitude, because I know, and then like a lot of adaptability. Like as a kid, and I think it comes from my father, he made sure to adapt everything for me and like make sure I could ride bikes, I could skateboard. So that turned into me as an adult trying to adapt to my life now, or in sports, figure out how can I be successful in this sport, how can I adapt to this sport and do amazing things. So definitely has translated over in a positive way.
And how important has your faith in God been in your journey?
Very important. It's the most important thing. I don't think I'd be here today without my trust in God or my faith. Definitely, if I didn't have like that person to lean on, or you know, you don't think about God as like a person right there, but if I didn't have Him to lean on, like I definitely would have gave up already. I definitely would have, you know, thrown the towel and like been done with everything. So just having that extra support, you know, because a lot of times I see people who don't believe in God, and I'm like, how do you get through life, you know? And you know, without having that relationship. So I think it definitely helped me. And it's been great.
And you mentioned therapy earlier. How important has going through therapy has been in your life, and the benefits of that?
Oh, therapy's tough, man.
Tell the people why.
Because you get exposed, and they tell you everything about you that you don't want to face, and you have to be willing to do the work to change, to want to be better. So like going through therapy, or now I have like sports psychology, but it's kind of like sport and life stuff. We talk about both. So that's definitely helped me over the last few years to even just elevate my game, elevate me as a person, and you know, tackling those hard things, those traumatic things in life, those old addictions, those old lifestyles. It definitely helped change everything.
Ooh. And how do you identify yourself now?
I am a child of God. Like,
I love it.
Like, even though I have all these things that I do or accolades, I'm a child of God first. You know, that's my identity is in Christ. After that, then I'm an athlete, then I'm a business owner, then I'm an author, then I'm a life coach, all those things. So those things come after,
Ooh. Like I said, she's many, many things, okay? Ashley's a jackalita of all trades. That's a term that I created.
You just created that, right? Yeah.
So what tips would you give for somebody who is physically disabled and society's throwing all these things at them and they're just maneuvering life right now?
Yeah, that's tough because there's no way to guarantee that life is going to be perfect or good. My encouragement is always, keep going, keep trying, keep putting yourself out there. We all have our different limits. We all have our different disability range of what we can do, what we can't do. But, I would always say, try something outside of what you think that your limitation is.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a challenge. And how would you want to see society treat people with disabilities?
I would love to see them treat us like everybody else. Because, from my perspective, I'm normal. But a lot of society, they just look at us as inspiration pieces. And, they're over there. Look how great they are. They're inspiring. And not looking at them like, oh, they're just another person in society. I just want everybody to, look at everybody the same or just normal. Because at the end of the day, we're as normal as we can be, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Is there any tips that you have for churches, mental health agencies, community agencies as to how they can be more inclusive?
More inclusive, definitely. More inclusive just means accepting everybody, right? And bringing people in. I would think more on the church side is not looking at disabled people as something to fix. Because a lot of times you go to churches or even when you just meet people on the street, that's happened to me. I was at Santa Monica Pier and this guy was like, "What's wrong with your legs? Can I pray for you?" And I'm like, so I talked to him straight. I just talked to him. I was like, "Listen, I'm a believer. I'm a child of God. You need to talk to the Holy Spirit. Me being disabled might not be my only issue. I might have mental health issues. I might be poor, broke, something. There's other things you can pray about. So, just don't just look at the person from the outside and, see what's really going on in their heart because sometimes that's not, the full, even when you look at the Bible when the person that needed to walk, he says, I forgive you for all your sins and you're completely healed. So then he had other stuff going on,
Not just that he couldn't.
Not that he couldn't walk. So, that would be my word to, churches, healthcare professionals, things like that. Just, meet the person where they are, see what is really going on, and then and then go from there. Yeah.
Which is huge. Which leads me to my next question. What is something or some things that you feel like able-bodied people get wrong with individuals with disabilities?
What do they get wrong? Where do I begin? No. I think it goes back to the same thing that we're not considered as normal, or if I talk about the sports side, we're not considered as athletes first. We're considered disabled athletes, and it's we're athletes that just happen to be disabled. They get wrong that they should always say something. I have people "Oh, slow down" or something, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I guess that they feel like they can't talk to us sometimes, or so a lot of times I feel like I have to break the ice and I have to get to a point where I feel comfortable doing that. A lot of times people will not talk to me or not start a conversation, and I have to be the one hey, what's up? So I guess those are kind of things they get wrong, or they assume everybody who's disabled is experiencing their disability the same. It's all different. So many different.
Ooh, that is huge.
And they should know that it's the only community that anybody can join at any time. So. If you think about that. Think about that.
That's huge, Ashley. Is there any final tips that you would share with the people just for overcoming challenges?
Any
self-esteem, identity issues.
Let me think. My things is always follow your dreams. Be comfortable with who you are. Yes, it's tough, and it's like I'm saying this like I'm so confident in that. But yes, being comfortable who you are and whose you are. Like if you're a believer, being comfortable knowing that God got you, God put you. And it's weird to say put you in this situation, but He made you in this situation for a reason, for a purpose, and you need to know that you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. Like no matter what your future looks like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine, and everything is good under God's eyes. So it's not so much for us to worry, but for me, follow your dreams, your passions, whatever your heart desires, and go for it full force. And as long as you don't give up, you'll reach your goal.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I am so honored to have Ashley Dyce on this show because when I tell you this girl has made such a huge impact in many lives, I'm not even over exaggerating. So it's so interesting to see how she had this view of herself in childhood and how now she's walking into her purpose. And every day, it's an everyday thing. It's a strive. It's a process. But how God is using her to bless other people. So I hope that this podcast blessed you today. And reach out to Ashley Dyce. I will put her Instagram handle at the end of this video. But she also has a book. As we close, can you just tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah, so my book is called What Can She Do? I wrote it a couple of years back. It's an inspirational book first. And then it's a little bit about my life story, a little bit of stuff that we talked about today, and just my journey towards the Paralympic Games. So it's a great read. My goal is just for people to be inspired to follow their dreams. That's really, I guess, maybe that's my purpose. So, And
she's out here inspiring. So get her book, okay?
Yes.
And thank you for watching another episode of Beauty for Ashes. Thank you, Ash.
Yeah, absolutely.